If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
That's the game, like that comeback. And here's the great part. I was working at ESPN. I'm about to walk in on the set. You know how it is. You got to be there like 3 minutes before the game ends. So I walk in, and I'm from Atlanta, right? So I walk in, and there's this massive banner back there that says, Falcons win Super Bowl. And I took a picture of it, and I said, you cursed us. Whoever in this room just did this, because Tom Brady's going to bring this team back against the Falcons. I watched him systematically take apart the Falcons, drive it down in one of the most incredible comeback performances in history. That's my favorite moment because, again, he wills his team to another win. And it's absolute insanity. The catches that were made, the balls that were being placed just perfectly, the timing of it. And, again, we talk about the way his career started. Willing his team to victories then and finishing it that way. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And I'm telling you, play after play, I told whoever was in that studio, they cursed the Falcons. The Falcons should be upset about that because when I walked in that studio, I knew Molly and Stephen A. I was like, this is not going to be good because I'm going to go back to Atlanta with hearts broken in Atlanta, and it turned out that way.
Did you get a Super Bowl ring when you were with the Patriots?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did in 2003. Yeah, I was on injured reserve, but I was there and got to watch Brady do his deal. It was awesome.
But did you know at the time how great Brady could be?
I'd never seen anything like it. You get there as a rookie, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I could ever be close to as good as this guy, no matter what happens. When you get to watch him on a daily basis, the work he puts in, just how in command he is of every aspect of his training and mental approach, it's insane. And so you could sense there was greatness, the longevity. I don't know if anybody could have anticipated that, but you could tell on a daily basis that he wanted to be the best ever.
But how about he erased the deficit against the Rams? Weren't they down 27-3 and he had the miraculous second half? This just happened at 44 years. He has ice water in his veins.
Why don't you pick that?
Well, because it wasn't as good as Atlanta.
Just because it wasn't a Super Bowl, Stephen A.
Yeah, it wasn't a Super Bowl. The stakes weren't as high.
Both Tom and Bill are uber competitive. I particularly remember an instance in Buffalo. We're walking out from the locker room, and there's a guy there, an operations guy that's usually holding us back and tells us when to go. Well, Tom kind of makes his way past him, pushes past, gets the whole team out on the field. And it's starting to rain boos, and people are just yelling whatever nonsense at us as they introduced us over the loudspeaker. He looked back at us all and he said, "F them all." It gave me goosebumps, man. It embraced that it's, us against the entire stadium that night.
Give me a Tom Brady story.
Oh, goodness. The most recent one was at a wedding at Baker's Bay, which is phenomenal, kind of a golf resort in the Bahamas. And we're all there. One of our friends is getting married, and it's like Friday night. Everybody had a long night. Wedding's on Saturday. I wake up. I'm checking out the island, struggling just to get out of bed. Take a golf cart around. I see this cat, like, by himself in this field. And I'm like, what is going on over there? I pull up, and it's Saturday morning in, like, May, and Brady is out there with his assistant doing resistant band drops and sprints and throwing. This is no kidding. In this like magical resort post long night of the pre-wedding party, and getting his work in and throwing the football and doing all these drops, and it was just insane. And this is year whatever, 18 for him. And still has that type of discipline and work ethic.
You know that Tom Brady grew up idolizing Joe Montana as a star at Sarah High School. Over 2 decades ago, KPIX reported that Brady might end up being even better than his idol. Sort of.
Brady's high school, about a month ago, put out a video of a local sportscaster in the Bay Area doing a feature on this kid from San Mateo. Would you recall who that local sportscaster was, Dan, back in the day?
I do, and he was really young-looking and sharp. He was really something. And he also predicted that Tom Brady would go on to be a Hall of Fame type quarterback.
Yes, you did, I'm sure.
Dan Fouts introduces you to some of the Bay Area's hottest young players. Some names to follow. They may be the names you'll be hearing about for years to come.
Dave McElhatton sounded prophetic in 1994, but Dave had no idea that one of the three football players in Dan Fouts' story would end up being an international superstar.
They said, here, you have a couple minutes, go fill it. So I came up with a concept, the ones to watch.
Beth Freeman was Fouts' producer on the story.
Is a 6'4", 200-pound quarterback named Tom Brady.
He was a real straight shooter. He was actually very humble compared to the other boys that we had interviewed.
Fouts, a great Bay Area high school football player in his own right, was impressed by Sarah High School's greatest athlete.
Tom Brady came out of the locker room to meet us on the football field to do this interview. And Dan Fouts stood up, all 6'4", 6'5" of them, and he looked at him and looked at me and said, this is the guy. This is the guy to watch.
Tell me about Tom Brady, the quarterback. What are your strengths?
My strengths. Well, everybody tells me I have a pretty strong arm, which is good. I'm pretty accurate with it. And I think I need to work on my speed a little bit, but hopefully that'll come in time.
Turns out that time never came.
Brady, you look like you're running in slow motion, which was true then, and it's still true today.
Today, Brady can't leave his house without a camera shoved in his face. 22 years ago, he was thrilled to get a chance to speak in front of ours, and Freeman happened to find his first TV close-up in a dusty corner of her house.
I was delighted to be able to call Channel 5 and say, hey, gang, I found it.
Dan Fouts, KPIX5 Sports.
Brady didn't become a college star overnight. He was 7th on the depth chart at Michigan before working his way up the ladder. He never impressed the pro scouts. He was drafted in the 6th round. Dan Fouts saw something that nobody else saw until now.
Do you recall that gig where you met Tom back then?
Yeah, I do. And the premise was that we were interviewing the top 4 high school prospects going into college. And I was interested in talking to Tom because at Sarah High School, that was one of our rivals from my high school. And the big thing about Brady is how come you're not going to Cal or Stanford or SC? You're going all the way back to Michigan. Mm-hmm. And he was cool with his answer. And also I asked him about his scouting report, what it would say. And he said, well, I'm accurate. I've got a strong arm, but I got to work on my speed.
Yes, that works. That works. So what was his answer as to why I went to Michigan? Do you recall it or no?
No, it was all legal. There was nothing under the table.
No. I was just going to say, because I'm a smart, brilliant guy. Is that why I went to, because he was going to Michigan? I just didn't know. That's why I was just wondering what his response was. You made an interesting comment, Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen show, on our game day morning a couple weeks ago. I want to delve into here because you nailed it right on the head when we were talking about Brady and Belichick maybe having a tug of war here. Yeah. And you're like, this needs to be nipped in the bud because you once saw a dynasty have a tug of war that you thought never would lead to a breakup.
Never. And when I heard it, as they were talking back in the day about Jerry and Jimmy, I was like, oh, we're good. There's no way. We're coming off back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, they may very well be coming off back-to-back Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. And I said, no way. Nobody takes a perfectly running car and take it to the shop. We don't need the shop right now. We're running perfectly, and that's exactly what happened. And that worries me because you start talking about these are two highly successful, highly motivated, very directed, and very, I believe I know the way to get it done type guys. Yep. And that's always a possibility when you have those type men working together. But they're two incredible people. I certainly hope nothing happens and they stay together because, like I said, we're blessed to be in this time that they are in.
Well, the difference is that these two guys are under contract to an owner that wants to keep them together as opposed to an owner wanting to prove that I can do it myself. Right. Did you ever step in when you heard that Jimmy and Jerry were not doing well, or your station wasn't that in life at that point in time?
I just didn't think anything would happen, Rich. I really didn't. I was like, well, are you joking? You know how hard it is to win Super Bowls, and you have a formula that's working, and who would touch that formula? So I really never thought that there was a need to, because I didn't think anything would happen. And then when it happened, it's like, oh, my God. Like, I should have done this. Maybe I should have talked to him. I should have tried this. I should have tried that. So I hope, and that's the good thing you mentioned. If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm like, man, I love both of you.
What is your favorite memory with Tom off the field?
Oh, yeah, man, just throwing me right on the spot.
We did it to him too. And he came through.
My favorite memory? I would just say going to the Kentucky Derby and seeing him take a shot and like just seeing his face after, like in disgust, like I'm putting this alcohol in my body, and he, takes a shot and he's just like, oh, how am I going to throw next week?
What was it a shot of?
What's that?
What was it a shot of?
I think Fireball. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Jerry Jones, I'm telling you, that's the one thing. I'll never forget Jerry Jones telling me that when I was negotiating with him. And I was saying, I'll go to Cincinnati. And I'm just talking, trying to get my monies up. I said, I'll go to Cincinnati. You can get Carl Pickens over here, and let's see what happens. And Jerry said to me then, Jerry said, Michael, when I see you, I see Michael Irvin and the Dallas Cowboys. He said, I kind of see it like Magic Johnson and the Lakers. He said, what is Magic without the Lakers? And what are the Lakers without the Magic? He said, you guys, they belong together, just like you and the Cowboys. He said, Michael, the best way I can tell you, if a bomb hit Valley Ranch today, that's where we practice, and blew everything up, everybody, everything. When the smoke clears, baby, me and you, we gonna still be here. So we might as well work this deal out right now. So,
that's what he said to you?
I promise you. I said, this dude is a fool. This dude is a fool. He had me laughing as he was telling me no about my money.
That's why you're in the Hall of Fame together. Get your take on what we're seeing from Tom Brady as a 40-year-old quarterback who is, getting beaten up. There's no question about it. But seems to be performing with the exception of one air-mailed interception, his first on the road in the regular season in 2 years. He looks the same old Tom Brady to me, Dan. What do you think?
Yeah, he really does look good. I'm a little concerned, though, with how many times he's taken some big hits in the last couple of games. He's been so durable throughout his career, but at 40 years old, those hits will start to take a toll. We haven't seen it yet, and last night was a good example of it. But he's just remarkable. I guess there's so many adjectives you can use for him, but the fact that he's performing at this high of a level, really on a team that is underperforming at this point.
I'm going to tell you what my favorite Brady moment is.
Okay.
It's just me, Jeff. It was a regular season game. It was the regular season finale when they went 16-0 and they were going against the Giants, and he threw that bomb for the 50th touchdown to Randy Moss. Jeff Saturday, do you know why that's my favorite play? Because the play before, the Patriots went for it. It was an incomplete pass, and they came back with the exact same play. Randy Moss and Brady was like, we going to do this again.
Yeah.
Exact route, exact play. And it was a touch. I just said, damn, these brothers are special. This is something special to watch right here because everybody and their mother knew what they would think about doing, and they said, yo, we going to do it anyway. That's why I love that.
When you walk in that bus room and you look at all the colleagues of yours, Dan, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, is Tom the greatest quarterback of all time, in your opinion?
Well, you can have this debate, and really what it comes down to is who's your favorite. I mean, the debate used to be, is it Unitas, and then it was Montana, and then now it's Brady, and the Favre is thrown in there. So really, they're all great. And, with Tom, you've got the statistics and the rings to back up your debate.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe as I post a new Tom Brady video every day.